Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Well, the topic is the secret of raising independent children. Why must children depend on us before they can stand on us, before they can become independent? Dependency is a prerequisite for someone to become independent. Now, this is something we need to remember. Every one of us, as a parent, we want children who can make good decisions, who can solve problems, who can stand on their own, who can face challenges, who can be independent in some way. But yet, now look at parents of very young children. When the child says, "Stay with me, don't go away, help me, can you come with me too?" They want to go into a dark room and they want to turn on the light. "Can you come with me?" And we keep here, we sit in the living room and say, "No, no, 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 don't worry, nothing is there, go ahead, we are here." But when this persists, somewhere we have a feeling that the child is becoming too dependent on me. you know what I need to understand is this kind of dependence is not an obstacle for independence. It could be a pathway to become independent. So, the secret of raising independent children is not teaching them to need us less, is not to push them away. It is for children to feel deeply secure. It's like a tree. The tree is moving upwards only because their roots are growing deep within. And that is what I need to look at when raising the child. There is this story about monkeys in a forest, and they lived in this huge mango tree with juicy mangoes. And the king of the monkey used to always tell, make sure that nobody will ever come become aware of these mangoes. There was a river flowing underneath, and don't throw any of these seeds or mangoes. Don't let any mangoes drop into the river, because somebody may figure out and would come looking for this mango tree. And one day it just happened that the mango fell and it floated down, and somebody found it. They took it to the king, and the king found it extremely sweet and juicy, and he wanted to figure out where the mango tree was. And when his soldiers found it, they found it was filled with monkeys. So the king ordered all the hunters to come around and shoot the monkeys down. And the monkey king, found, saw this as a danger. So he had to help his clan escape. So he saw a vine hanging down on a tree opposite on the other side of the river. So he jumped over to the other side, hung up to that vine, swung over the river, held onto a branch here. He became part of the bridge on which all his monkeys would cross and go to the safety of other tree without being shot down by the hunters. It's something like that. It seems very painful for us to become that bridge. It's painful, when children are going through us, over us, but the children felt safe. With like the monkeys feeling safe when their king was around, children will feel safe. It could be them sleeping alone, it could be going to the school, it could be making new friends, or when the friends dump them, any conflicts they have in managing their disappointments, managing their own emotions. Somewhere they're learning to bank on us as safety pillars. So they feel the security hidden in this relationship that will propel them to become independent. It is not about me pushing them across, forcing them, scaring them. "Oh, the king is here with the hunters. No, run for your life." No, I am here. I am here to support you. I am here to help you cross this bridge. Be safe. Trust me. That is where you see the dependency um, a little bit more in the younger ages of the children. They need us to regulate their emotions. They need to see us plan well, control ourselves, have that resilience. And this is how children learn through imitation. They will eventually be able to make decision on their own. The decision making ability, risk taking, judging, understanding situation, those are still developing in the children. They try for small things. I want this t-shirt, I don't want to go to school today, or I want this particular pen, pencil, whatever. So simple things is where they become kind of clingy and dependent on. But these are very small steps they are taking towards being able to take those big decisions when they turn 16, 18, 20, whatever. Before children begin to learn to regulate themselves, they need to see us regulating ourselves. That's the dependency. Until the child feels safe, they are not going to move away from us. Some children are clingy and we don't like it very much. Some children take a long time to unfold. They still want to hold my hands. They still want to sleep with me. They still want to help me go up to the bus stop to help them board the bus. That is co-regulation. They're going to feel it. You must have seen these young parents with the 2-3-year-olds. They go to a park and the children run to play, go on the slide or a swing. They turn around and look if parents are still around, if they're still talking to somebody, and then they proceed another step ahead towards that independence. They look back again. That reassurance is what they're seeking from us. The baby crying, and we respond to them with warmth and touch and release that whatever is causing them that stress. Somewhere we are pacifying their agitated nervous system. And when this repeats thousands of times in the childhood, early childhood, that becomes the basis of child feeling the stability later on. With that, they develop independence. It is not that children will forever be dependent on us. We tend to do that. If a child lies when he's 3 or 4, parents become so paranoid and we think the child will become a liar. If child doesn't eat vegetables, we assume that the child will never ever eat vegetables. That's not true. Children are unfolding in phases. And there is going to be this kind of a trial and error method that child is looking up to the environment, and when they feel safe, they move further out to become independent. Somewhere they need to feel that there is this adult trying to calm me down. And then the confidence comes, yes, I can calm my own self down. So this independence grows out of the connection that the child has with their immediate predominant caregivers. That attachment that they have, the clinginess they have, somewhere creates a space for exploration. So the child can go and explore things around them. They are looking back for that reassurance, for that yes nod from the parent. But they come back to the parent to seek that approval. And I need to be aware to not misuse that. Understanding that security does not create dependence. That security develops that courage within the child. The child feels safe to say, I wonder what's over there. I can go explore. And if I get stuck, somebody, my parents are here to come and help me through that, navigate through that. If I get stuck on climbing up the ladder to reach the top of the slide, my parents are going to be there to hold me so I can climb up that stair. It's not dependence. It's looking for that safety net. So with feeling of that security, the child explores. Otherwise, they cling. So it's a little, initially, it appears as an insecure child, clingy, wanting me alone along all the time. But then, with allowing them to be clingy, yet creating that space, that's like a tightrope walk. But if I do that, then the child starts exploring, looking back, coming back to me. There is dependence, and then there is a little bit of independence. So that's like a rhythm: dependence, independence, dependence, independence, like breathing in, breathing out, you know. So then slowly they nudge themselves towards that independence, because that is the fundamental of being human. I want freedom. Every one of us feels that I want to be independent. That's not like I don't care for you. It is like I need to be in my own skin, unfold to my own potential without without having my hooks in you, looking at your approval. Develop it. So any of these early achievements, that forced early achievements, you know, academic achievements, early responsibility, will kind of not address that need for this rhythm, this breathing in, breathing out between dependence and independence. Nature follows a different sequence. With dependence, there is trust that my parent is around all the time, or the caregiver, grandparent, whoever the predominant adult is. And with that trust, I can feel safe and secure. With that security, I can explore. When I explore, I develop competence, I develop skills. And with those competency and skills, I become independent. There is a courage to be independent. Else, I'm always looking for approval. So the secret to raising independent children is allowing them to be dependent in the early ages, cling on to us for certain time, until they feel completely safe within, no pressure, they can begin to flourish and move further towards independence. All the very best.